Okay, top of the hour here. We will get started. Good morning, everyone. My name is Frank Santos, Director of Training for Vanco. I also have Randy Blanchard, my colleague, on the line with us, our Audio Director for Beale Street Audio and Pulse Audio. So we will get started. Obviously, with these weird times and uncertain times, what we wanted to do was start a series of webinars each week. Last week was our first week, and we covered our HDMI extenders and HDMI cables. And in a separate session, we covered Beale Street Audio, but for SemiVolt products, which Randy did a great job of covering. And based upon the feedback of that, again, we're kind of doing week by week and really want your feedback. But the feedback we got last week was, hey, I'd like to learn more about Beale Street ADOM, which we're going to learn about today. So that's what we're going to do. For any questions, please utilize the chat function. And Randy, if you're listening, if you can please monitor that chat function as we're going through this presentation. And at the end, we will, perfect. And at the end, we'll also review those questions. So please ask away. Again, looking for feedback on what you guys want to learn about next week. We've already gotten feedback that you guys want to learn about our HDMI over IP solution called Evo IP. So more than happy to do that next week. Also, I'm happy to do one-on-one webinars as well. So please email us, contact us. Again, I'm happy to set that up as well. So let's get started. So really quick about Vanco. If you guys are not familiar with Vanco, we were born in 1957 in Illinois. Originally a provider of mobile and CV accessories. I can happily tell you that we are not in that business anymore. More than 15 years ago, we started to focus on AV, specifically the HDMI cable. Once we started producing the HDMI cable, we kind of graduated to HDMI distribution products such as splitters, switchers, matrix units, HDMI extenders, and then even more graduating to currently HDMI over IP. So we're really pushing the envelope in terms of our HDMI solutions, getting up there in 4K, 8K solutions, you name it, we have it. We are a complete AV one-stop shop. Vanco is actually short for van company. Believe it or not, we used to sell products right out of the van, going from dealer to dealer, distributor to distributor. We no longer do that. We are headquartered in Batavia, Illinois, about 30 or 35 miles west of Chicago. But you never know with these times, we may just start delivering via van. So who knows? One thing a lot of people do not know about us is our QC test process. That picture up above is what's called our QC cage. We actually employ 2 Vanco employees in Asia where our products are manufactured. And their job there is to help us out on product development, but also to make sure that every black box, including our Beale Street amplifiers, are tested before they're shipped out to the U.S. Now, once it reaches Illinois, we test it again. So every HDMI active product, every amplifier, whether it's in Beale Street or Pulse Audio, is tested. What you'll see in front of you is a table for each tester. They have different displays. In fact, we are partnered up with JVC, Yamaha, Vivotech, Pendant, and Luxel. We've got all sorts of sources, you name it, we've got it. All sorts of versions of the Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, cable boxes, dish boxes, all sorts of AV receivers. Our point with this is we are trying to break our product before it even ships to our distributors and ultimately to you guys, our dealers. So just know that if you're getting a Vanco product, you're getting a product that has been tested twice. Our tech support team, 4 great people. We're available via phone, email, or website chat. We are working remotely, so just keep that in mind. However, again, more than happy to help you out in any technical support need. So let's talk about Beale Street Audio. Now, with Beale Street Audio, it's an additional line that we've added to our brands, if you will. With Vanco, there is a Vanco brand, there is an Evolution brand, a Pulse Audio brand, which will actually have another webinar based upon that line later on this afternoon, so please join on that. But our most recent line that we've added is Beale Street Audio. Now, Beale Street Audio is our line of architectural speakers. Now, I can tell you, hey, these speakers sound great, but obviously audio is subjective, right? You've got to listen to it yourself. And now, believe me, they do sound great. I actually have a pair of our LCs, which are my favorite speakers by far. But why should you look at Beale Street Audio? Okay. Well, the first question you need to ask is, does the world need another speaker? Probably not, right? The market's saturated with all these speakers, these speaker companies, and they all make one inherent same design, right? It is basically an infinite baffle speaker shoved into a wall or a ceiling cavity, right? With Beale Street Audio, it is a totally different speaker, a totally different technology. What it features is a built-in cabinet, and that built-in cabinet technology is called Sonic Vortex. Now that picture you see on your right-hand side, you'll see actually our subwoofer, but it includes the same technology, and you'll see 6 ports coming out of the front of that speaker. And those 6 ports is twisted ported transmission. It's sound reinvented. The ultimate benefit of this is the deep and rich bass that you get out of these speakers compared to any other architectural speaker on the market. Okay, no one can match the bass response that we provide out of our speakers. So let's talk about creating bass. What do you need? Okay, well, you need air. You need airspace. On a bookshelf speaker, which you're seeing right in front of you, there's a reason why it's the size that it is, right? It needs air behind it, behind the driver. So what you have is this space which the energy is created, and it exits this port over here, okay? Now, we do not have the benefit or the luxury of that amount of room within a ceiling or especially a wall, okay? It's a limited amount of room. So here's what you have to do to compensate for the lesser amount of space that you have. You get this, okay? So if you've got a speaker behind a cabinet and this is your back box, to create the same amount of bass, you need to extend your port, okay? Now, that's not a problem with our speakers, because what we've designed is a technology that actually coils that port around the actual speaker, which is this, okay? So we've coiled it on our standard 6.5-inch speaker. If you stretched it out, you would get 48 inches of length on that port, which is why we can pull off that bass in a small amount of room, depending on if it's a wall or a ceiling, okay? So Sonic Vortex allows for a smaller cabinet. Again, 6 ports. The other benefit of this is the dispersion. It's 160-degree sound dispersion. What that means is that you can use less Sonic Vortex speakers compared to any other speaker. In fact, we've got 8 of our speakers installed in the Orlando Convention Center in the main lobby, which is a couple stories high. And again, only 8 speakers serving the entire lobby. So keep that in mind. So here's the problem with architectural speakers, right? There's no back box. Now, what you'll also get is you're counting on the wall cavity or the ceiling cavity as your back box. So you will get inconsistent sound. Why? Because the left-hand speaker in the wall cavity or the stud bay may have totally different materials. It could have more insulation, it could have venting, it could have conduit compared to the right-hand speaker. Okay, so it may sound different. Again, with our speakers, it's always going to sound the same. It's going to be consistent sound. So with an architectural speaker, the other benefit that we have is sound where it's intended to go. So you have sound coming out of the front of the speaker, which is great, but here is the disadvantage of that. You also get sound coming out of the back. So you can also get sound resonance to neighboring rooms, room up above. If you've got a nursery up above, that will transfer sound to that room. So back to the back box. Again, this is an illustration of ceiling speakers, obviously installed, and you can see left and right. Well, on the left-hand side, you've got a much bigger cavity within that ceiling. Again, you can have venting there, conduit, you could have a different amount of insulation than the right hand. And again, this right-hand speaker is going to be a much smaller wall cavity, so again, you're going to get inconsistent sound. So with our speakers, again, you get sound where it's intended to go. It's always going to remain consistent, and we're going to cut down the sound resonance up to 7 decibels, okay? All right, so that covers the technology of Sonic Vortex. Let's delve into our speaker lineup. And with our speaker lineup, we have 3 series. We have a good, better, best, or what we like to call better, more better, or better than their best, B, MB, and BB respectively. Now, with our B series speaker, it's going to be smooth sound, great value. In terms of the material, you're going to get a poly woofer, silk dome tweeter, and this series is available in our in-ceiling 6.5 and 8-inch. We also have this straight and angled. The angled speakers are great for any home theater applications. And the dual voice coil with triangle cover, it's a very unique design, but it's one speaker that basically puts out stereo for a small room, like let's say a bathroom. The MB series, the more better. You get broader sound, deeper bass. In terms of the materials, you get fluted injected poly for the woofer, aluminum tweeter, and this series is available in our in-ceiling 6.5 and 8-inch, just like our B series, but we also include a 4-inch size. For in-wall application, we also have a 4-inch LCR, which is kind of my personal favorite, and a pancakes speaker for your shallow in-wall application. Again, also available in straight and angled solutions. And then our best series, the BB, is going to be more detail and power handling. The woofer is going to be made out of carbon fiber. The tweeter is going to be made out of aluminum. And again, this is available in the same applications as our MB series speakers.
That's a titanium tweeter, Frank?
I'm sorry, say that again?
You said aluminum tweeter. It's a titanium tweeter.
Oh, I apologize. Titanium tweeter. Good catch. Just making sure you're paying attention, Randy. Pancake speakers. So again, a great solution for any ultra shallow depth for in-wall applications, measuring less than 3 inches. Again, great for home theater type setups where you need a set of speakers in the back. And again, this is available in MB and BB. LCR speakers, again, my personal favorite. I've got a pair of these, believe it or not, in my kitchen. I play these all the time. Also a perfect solution for any home theater applications. Again, less than 3 inches of depth, available in MB and BB, left and right, as you see, or right and left. Now, the problem with this speaker is you can use this as the center. However, you will have to build around it if you're using a standard stud length of 16 inches between studs. To get over that, or to get around that, I should say, we just released a new LCR speaker that is called our between the stud LCR. So this will fit horizontally, vertically, anywhere you want it. Obviously, the center, it is great at doing, obviously, with it fitting between a set of studs. This is available in MB and BB. And then our dual voice in-ceiling speaker. I'll let Randy explain this technology, which is very unique.
Awesome. Thank you, Frank. Yeah, before I jump into this, I do want to point out one thing. Our design, our transmission line design, is not a new design. It's been around since the 30s. We are the first company that has patented it for in-ceiling applications. So again, we didn't invent the concept. We just patented it for in-ceiling. It is the best way. It's always been the best way to generate low bass with small drivers. So just wanted to point that out. Let's talk about this very, very unique product. You integrators that are on the phone, I'm sure you've installed dual tweeter speakers. This is our dual tweeter speaker. Obviously, what makes it unique is that we only have one tweeter. The reason people do a dual tweeter and a single woofer speaker is they really can't design a tweeter that can take the two voice coils. They can take the power of the left and right channel. Because everything we do, we just try to do it better. We actually designed a tweeter that has the power handling capability of two voice coils. So we have a single tweeter and a single woofer. Why is this important to you? Anyone who's ever sold a line array, two drivers side by side, knows that the dispersion pattern from those is spherical or linear. In other words, they cancel side to side. That's how they're designed. So when you have a dual tweeter speaker, you get a nice spherical dispersion pattern from your woofer, but you end up with an elliptical dispersion pattern from the dual tweeters. It's just the way it is, kind of like the infinite Baffle design. It's just the way it is. Well, not with us. So we developed a better dual tweeter speaker by using a single tweeter. We give you spherical dispersion, full frequency response. Again, very unique in the industry. Back to you, Frank.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, Randy. Okay, so next product is going to be our two-channel amplifiers. So if you need an amplifier to pair up with your Beale Street speakers, we've got them. We've got two flavors, 2 by 50 watt and a 2 by 100 watt. This is a great application for just a simple 2.1 channel system for any TV. You want something better than a soundbar? This is it. I personally run one of these in my master bedroom just for a set of LCRs and a subwoofer. This is what I use. Now, the key to this product is obviously the two channels and the sub out, but also the ability to learn IR. So this actually has a feature of learning any IR command from a remote. So you can take your cable box remote or TV remote and learn it to this amp, so you're not relying upon the small remote it comes with. It'll be seamless in terms of controlling the volume as if you're using, again, your cable box TV remote or your TV remote for easy use. The other feature it has is source sensing, so it's got a couple of inputs, including optical and analog.
And we give you wall mount brackets for it too, so you can hang it on the wall behind your TV set. And again, because you program the TV's remote to control its volume, it absolutely disappears.
Sounds good. And then the next product we're going to talk about is our in-ceiling subwoofer. So this is a very unique product in terms of, hey, I don't want a subwoofer just laying on the floor. I want to hide it somewhere. Well, what better place than the ceiling? So we've got these in two flavors, again, a 6.5 and 8 inch. I personally have the 8 inch, and the key here is a small footprint, but it acts like a much bigger subwoofer. So again, a great application for places you don't want to see a subwoofer that's visible on the floor.
So if I can jump in, you see, Frankie shouldn't have let me jump in. Any of you guys that have installed a in-ceiling subwoofer knows that the problem with Infinite Baffle designs is magnified with Infinite Baffle subwoofers. You put it up there, it's going to shake everything. That's what they do. I'll tell you right now, you install our architectural subwoofers, you won't hear them in the bedroom, in the baby's room. You will only get that great visceral bass response in the room it was intended to be. This is the killer app for Sonic Vortex, if you will. This is where Sonic Vortex is absolutely at its best. Right, Frank, sorry.
No, please interject anytime. Also to add to that, believe it or not, this will not crack the drywall because of the Sonic Vortex technology. This does not vibrate. In fact, at one of our previous trade shows, we had this hanging from fishing line, and it wasn't rattling. It was moving in a circular motion, the sun was. So again, it will not crack drywall. I know this because I've got this installed in drywall, and it has not cracked for about 2 years now. Okay, so that is a passive subwoofer, so it does need some power. So we do have some subwoofer amplifiers, one 120 watt and the other 220 watt. Personally, I have the 220 watt, and again, it provides a lot of bass, more than I absolutely need. Now, we also have in-room subwoofers. This is basically the in-ceiling subwoofer installed right into a cabinet. The main benefit here is, again, small footprint, louder bass. Because of Sonic Vortex technology, we were able to make the cabinet much smaller compared to a larger subwoofer that output the same amount of bass response. Available in two sizes, 6.5 and 8 inch. All right, let's talk about our commercial grade speakers, our SemiVolt speakers. These are made out of a fluid injected poly woofer. The tweeter is made out of aluminum. It is a 25, 70, and 100 volt switchable. You can see the switch on the right-hand side. And we have these available in 4 SKUs, a 4 inch, a 6.5, an 8 inch, and a pancake 4. You can also see on the switch on the right-hand side, we can also switch this to an 8 ohm as well. All right, we also have Pendant surface mount enclosures available as well. So with these enclosures, this gives you the ability of choosing any Sonic Vortex 6.5 or 8-inch speaker. So what we sell you is basically an empty enclosure available in black and white, again, available in 6.5 or 8. This comes with all the hardware that you need. For anybody out in California, we actually have an extra hook on there for seismic code or activity for California, so it has that. So you can hang this from any industrial ceiling, patio. We will have a wall mount for it, but again, the key here is it gives you the flexibility of installing any Beale Street audio speaker, whether it's a B, MB, BB. You can do a 70-volt speaker, an 8-ohm speaker. Heck, you can even do our subwoofer and again, hang it from a ceiling. Multi-channel amplifiers, we also have those. These are a recent addition to our Beale Street audio line. The key here is the user interface. You'll see a screenshot on the right-hand side. This is basically an audio matrix, guys. You can send any audio source to any zone. This also includes a parametric equalizer. Actually, a key feature to that is that feature because for what we offer in terms of the price point, no other competitor has that feature. Okay, so we can create clips, we can create walls within that, we can control treble, bass. The user interface is IP controllable. The other key feature with both of these amps is the ability to do 70-volt or 8-ohm simultaneously. So, you know, for residential applications, if you want to run this at home, we can have zones 1, 2, and 3 set at 8-ohm for indoor. But for your patio, you don't care about stereo. You just want to do mono and you want to do a bunch of speakers, but you want a daisy chain. We can set that zone to 70 volt. Okay. On the flip side of that, for any commercial applications, we can run a subwoofer along with your 70 volt speakers. Okay. Available in 2 different SKUs. The 2500, the Davy 2500 is our 2-zone amplifier, and the 4250 is our 4-zone amplifier. Volume controls, Randy, I'll let you talk about these volume controls and why they're so special.
You got it, Frank. Thank you. Hey, of all the volume controls in the world, these are 2 of them. I'm good. No, seriously. You guys, everybody has installed volume controls in your life. You kind of can't be in this business if you haven't. What makes our volume controls unique, first of all, is the power handling. Check out the power handling. Nobody's got power handling like this. Why? Because we don't use transformers. These are all electronic controls. We don't have a transformer. We do everything electronic. So we have continuous impedance matching. Instead of the impedance matching volume controls that you're used to, where you have to move a dip switch or you have to move a jumper, and if the system changes, we know your installers aren't going back and changing those dip switches. Ours does impedance matching dynamically. So it's always measuring the output impedance. It's always adjusting. So the amplifier is seeing a stable 8-ohm load. Another huge benefit, and again, anybody who's installed a volume control in their life knows that as soon as you put a volume control in the system, the speakers sound different. That's because volume controls, transformers just don't sound good. Especially when you overload them. When you drive a transformer too hard, you get something called core saturation. That's the heat building up in the transformer as it's absorbing energy from the amplifier. That is going to even further impact the performance. Again, we have no transformers. We have no core saturation. Our volume controls sonically disappear. Last big benefit is sorry, somebody was texting me over there, is because there's no transformer, these things actually will fit in a Carline blue box, a single gang box, without having to bash out the back or cut an opening or trying to shove all the cables in. Ours fit in very easily because they are very, very small. That's a lot for control, Frank. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Randy. I don't think I could explain it as well as you could. So the next two products I'm going to kind of breeze over because, yes, we do have pre-construction speaker brackets for our 6.5 and 8-inch speakers. And yes, we do have tile bridges for the same sizes for any commercial applications for drop ceilings. So to wrap up, let's talk about Beale Basics. Now, I obviously went over Sonic Vortex and how important that is. Now, Beale Basics is going to be our line of architectural speakers and a pendant without Sonic Vortex technology. Why? Price point. So this comes in at a better price point if you don't need the Sonic Vortex technology. Well, we still have speakers that are infinite baffle. The main difference that we're going to have compared to our competitors is the materials that we're using. We're using premium materials. So we're using Kevlar woofers and titanium tweeters throughout this entire line. We've got 8-ohm, we've got 70-volt, and on the right-hand side there, you'll see a pendant speaker. For 8-ohm speakers, again, Kevlar woofer, aluminum tweeter, available in two sizes, 6.5 and 8-inch. And we also have a dual tweeter speaker. Unlike, again, our Sonic Vortex, this actually has two tweeters to it. Our SemiVolt speakers, same deal in terms of the materials and sizes, 6.5 and 8-inch as well. Again, perfect for any commercial grade application. And then our indoor-outdoor 70-volt pendant speaker. You can hang these from again, a ceiling. You can actually mount these to a wall. So again, a great cost-efficient solution for a pendant speaker. All right, that concludes our presentation, everyone. I don't see any questions. However, if you guys have any questions after the fact, what you'll see in front of you are our business cards. Again, my name is Frank Santos, Director of Training. Randy Blanchard is our Director of Audio. Please feel free to shoot us any emails, any calls, ask us any questions. And again, we're looking for feedback for next week. We're kind of taking it week by week with obviously this weird time that we're all going through. So whatever you guys want to learn about, let us know. If you guys want to do a one-on-one, let us know. We can absolutely set that up. So we're looking for more feedback from you guys. So again, Frank, everyone, yes.
Sure, let me jump in real quick. The other thing, with speakers, you got to hear them, right? All of our reps, and I see a couple of them on the line here, so they can verify it. All of our reps have demo products. Our distributors have demos. If you want a demo of anything we just talked about, whether it's our commercial amps, commercial speakers, resi amps, whatever, reach out to me, reach out to Frank, reach out to Daniel, reach out to anybody at Vanco. Give us your contact information and just say, hey, I want to hear this in my office. And once the dust settles from all the social distancing, we'll have a rep come out and give you a in-person demo of this product in your office. And you'll hear that everything Frank and I just talked about is absolutely true. Matt had a question. Is there an app that will be developed to make this like Sonos with multiple zones? So great question, Matt. Couple things. One is in our Pulse Audio line. If you come by this afternoon, we have a product like Sonos at about a quarter of the price, and we are developing more wireless distributed audio products in the Beale line that hopefully we can have ready for you by Sevia. That will be, again, everything we do, we just want to be better. That will be pretty impressive. We've been beta testing them for quite some time now, and dedicated specifically to the integrator channel as our products are. We don't sell to retail. We are an integrator-focused company. So come by our booth at Sevia, assuming that's still going to happen, which I'm sure it will. And I think we'll have a product for you. Come by this afternoon for the Pulse training, and you can see the Pulse product, which at the end of the Pulse training, we're even going to give one away.
You got it. We're going to do a raffle. So perfect. All right. Okay. If any other questions, let us know. Otherwise, everyone, please have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to check out our afternoon webinar, as Randy said, on Pulse Audio products, including that PA stream, which we'll cover. Otherwise, everyone, be safe out there. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, everybody.